This is KITV4 Island News Midday.
Welcome to KITV4's Island News Midday, Hawaii's only midday newscast. Some breaking news at midday. Another rail audit just into the newsroom from the Hawaii State Office of the Auditor on the Honolulu Authority for Rapid Transportation. Now, this new audit report, it finds that HART withheld money that was used for unexpected costs when reporting to the board. And this was due to the CEO's belief that disclosing the amount set aside could lead to higher costs for the project. And this audit also found that HART does not evaluate their employees' performances and approve monthly invoices averaging about $800,000. The board believed their oversight of admin affairs was limited to hiring, evaluating, and terminating, and the CEO, meaning areas of management, well, they fall into gray areas. On the flip side, the FTA says filing management roles with third-party consultants versus HART employees leads to less accountability and ownership. KITV4's Brenton Awa will bring us more on this audit tonight at 5, 6, and 10. And also new at it's now day 25 of the government shutdown, and today the Coast Guard becomes the first branch of the military to miss their paycheck. Now, this as major delays continue on at airports with TSA screeners working without pay, and also protests taking place around the nation. Just take a look at this video. In Houston, well, NASA workers, they're protesting the shutdown as reports are about 95% of NASA employees are furloughed. And from Washington also to Miami, Houston, and Atlanta, the lines at airports are getting longer as security checkpoints and terminals in some cities remain closed. The government shutdown now day 25. According to the government, more than twice the normal number of TSA workers are now calling out sick. This as President Trump remains defiant and demanding $5.7 billion for a wall along the Mexico border.
When it comes to keeping the American people safe, I will never, ever back down. I didn't need this fight. This is a rough fight.
A video emerging of a new caravan of migrants making a trek north, some for the U.S., but in Washington, neither side backing down, affecting some 800,000 federal workers missing their first paycheck today. And also midday, a local popular food chain stepping up to help federal employees affected by the government shutdown. L&L Hawaiian Barbecue will offer free meals to not just federal workers, but also their families as well. And the free meals will be handed out this Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Airport Trade Center location. That's at 550 Paea Street. That's near the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport. Federal employees must bring official federal identification and can choose from 3 plate lunches: kalua pork with cabbage, chicken katsu, and hamburger steak. And new at midday, you were driving on the H1 eastbound in town earlier, wondering what the slowdown was all about. Multiple lanes of the H1 eastbound were blocked in this area. This is under the Ward overpass, all due to a truck detaching and overturning, but the trailer of a truck detaching. It's no ordinary trailer. Just take a look at this. A wood shipper detached from a truck, turning over on its side, blocking multiple lanes. And our KITV4 cameras were rolling as multiple police vehicles were on scene, causing chaos and a literal mess for morning commuters that were heading into town. Again, this on the H1 eastbound at Ward. All lanes are now back open and the scene is clear. We'll take a look at island weather right now. Earlier this morning, a 6.6 magnitude earthquake occurred southwest of the state, and our Tasia Worley now has the very latest. Hey, Tasia.
Hey, Lindsay, that's right. 3,500, just a little over 3,500 miles southwest over Hawaii. We did have that earthquake that did occur just a little after 8 this morning, west of Fiji, in the vicinity of Vanuatu. So we have no tsunami threat to Hawaii, but definitely keeping a close eye on that for any after effects. That happened earlier this morning, again at 8:06. Closer to home, we're seeing our wind conditions very light and variable. Everything under 10 miles per hour as of right now. Kaneohe coming in at 6, the windward side of Oahu, as well as for Lihue over on Kauai, Lanai City at 5, Ho'olehua at 7. So as you can see, the general forecast, light and variable winds continue under 15 miles per hour. Temperatures as well are looking pretty good. 80 for Kaneohe, 81 for Honolulu. Nice and cool still yet in Lanai City, coming in at 71 tonight. Going to be a nice cool night. Temperatures ranging 79 to 83 throughout the day, and tomorrow light and variable winds will continue with a few isolated showers for those leeward sections. That's a look at your weather. Lindsay, to you.
Okay, for view happening today and tomorrow, one lane along Kamehameha Highway this all due to Hawaiian Electric replacing a utility pole there. And those closures, they will be from 8:30 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. Also, contraflow lanes will be set up as well. And new at midday, ranks number 3 in the list of the most racially integrated states in the country. In a new study released by Wallet Hub, 58% of Americans say increased diversity makes the U.S. a better place. So the personal finance website gathered information on the country's states with the most racial progress. And this report comes as Martin Luther King Jr. Day is just around the corner and focused on gaps between black and white people across more than a dozen key indicators of equality and integration. At 7.74%, the Aloha State has the lowest gap in median annual household incomes. Hawaii also has the lowest gap when it comes to poverty rates at 0.87%. Happening today, the state Supreme Court set to hear arguments over the next City Council chair. Ann Kobayashi voted in as the interim chair of the Honolulu City Council, and Ron Menor voted in as vice chair, also Carol Fukunaga as floor leader. Trevor Ozawa was expected to be the chair, but he has yet to be sworn in, and his challenger, Tommy Waters, is challenging the results from the general election. Waters lost by just 22 votes, and the state Supreme Court is expected to hear arguments on that challenge today. Kobayashi will serve as interim chair until the issue is resolved. Paint rags spontaneously combusting in a trash can are being blamed for a massive Makaha house fire. The Honolulu Fire Department is ruling the fire an accident, and firefighters responded to this home on Macau Street around 4 Monday morning. 2 men were home at the time. They did escape safely. No injuries were reported. The damage is estimated to be at just under $700,000. On Maui, a juvenile arrested on suspicion of arson. This after a brush fire burns nearly an acre of land in Kihei. Now, firefighters, they put out the fire near the South Maui Community Park Sunday, and the juvenile was later released to his parents. Still to come on Island News Midday, we'll have a look at today's Money Matters financial segment. 2 major car companies combining their big name forces, and bigger is better at the Detroit Auto Show. That's still ahead, plus the preview of the day's major stories on Island News. Here's a live look outside over Honolulu. Island News Midday at noon. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Hawaii's only midday newscast. The latest financial news. 2 major car companies are combining their big name forces, and bigger is better at the Detroit Auto Show. With today's business headlines, here's your Island News Midday's Money Matters.
Island News Midday's Money Matters, brought to you by Hamada Financial Group.
Stock market set to open up after a second straight down session. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ all closed down amid data showing global economic growth may be slowing down. And China's exports unexpectedly slipped in December. The Dow closing down about 1/3 of 1%. The S&P lost about 1/2 of 1%. And the slowdown in China was the big reason for Apple having to revise its sales numbers down. That's a couple weeks ago. Now the Wall Street Journal says slowing sales in China may weigh other companies down as well. Retail sales growth in China slowed in November to its lowest level in well over a decade. And other data shows Chinese consumers are starting to delay major purchases. Now, Volkswagen and Ford expected to unveil an alliance today that combines forces on commercial vehicles. It's likely to expand into a joint development of electric and self-driving technology. The 2 automakers have been exploring closer cooperation as trade woes force automakers to rethink where they build vehicles for the United States, Europe, and also China. Well, staying on the roadways, car companies are hoping to convince a lot of us to buy big, with new models being introduced this in Detroit at the North American International Auto Show. And while muscle cars and SUVs are dominating the show floor, electric cars are few and far between. Only 2 are being unveiled at this week's show. All right, we'll take a look outside Honolulu. Right now, again, a live look over there, and for the latest on light winds and how long this will all last for, let's check in now with our Tasia Worley. Hey, Tasia.
Hey, Lindsay, that's right. Beautiful conditions, as you can see. Mostly sunny skies in Honolulu. Winds coming in from the south-southwest at 8 miles per hour. Everything under 10. For tomorrow, we'll continue to get this pattern. Southerly winds, so humid conditions are going to continue. But for today, humidity levels are low, or dew point low as well. Temperatures at 81 across the board. Seeing light and variable winds continuing all the way through our Wednesday, and then Thursday to Friday, that cold front it's going to move over from the west toward the east, bringing up some shower activity. So enjoy it while it lasts for your Tuesday. Seeing just a few partly cloudy conditions, more so for the south part of my county and also Hamakua Coast, Kauai. Beautiful conditions, nice and sunny for Oahu. A few isolated showers in Makaha Valley, but overall, as you can see, dry conditions. Ulapalakua seeing a few scattered showers. Today we'll continue to see mostly clear for our leeward sides, and then again, partly cloudy conditions for those windward areas. Again, Hamakua Coast does continue to be partly cloudy. For tomorrow, we'll see that as well. Winds will continue going down, and surf will continue going up. We'll have your surf forecast after this, but for now, Lindsay, we're sending it to you.
Tage, thank you. If your fingernails have ridges or chips or discoloration, you may be at risk for medical problems, and the condition of your fingernails may be clues to your overall health. With today's Medical Minute, here is Elizabeth Herr.
Island News Midday's Medical Minute, sponsored by Akahi Wellcare.
When you go see a doctor for a checkup, you expect them to listen to your heart and look into your eyes with a bright light. But does looking at your nails come to mind? For doctors, nails can sometimes be the biggest clue that there's a medical problem. In fact, diseases often affect many different parts of the body. For example, we commonly think of diabetes causing damage to the eyes, but it can also cause fingernails to turn a yellowish color. Melanoma is a deadly skin cancer caused by too much sun exposure, but 15 to 30% of people with dark skin who get melanoma actually show signs on the ends of their fingers. This can appear as dark brown or black stripes on the nails and is often misdiagnosed as a harmless condition. This can delay the start and success of treatment. Similar to this, nails are often one of the biggest clues that someone has lung cancer, psoriasis, or even liver disease. If you notice any changes in your nails, coloration, or texture, you may want to postpone that manicure and schedule a doctor's visit because it could be a clue to a medical problem. With this Medical Minute, I'm Elizabeth Herr, ABC News.
And still to come on Island News Midday, a look at what is all trending on the web and on social media with our digital manager, Laura Schweizer. Also, one final look at our weather outside over Honolulu. Island News Midday at noon. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
For Island News Midday.
Welcome back to Island News Midday. It is time now for Trends and Talkers. We'll check in with Island News digital manager Laura Schweizer to find out what is currently dominating social media. Hey, Laura.
Hey, Lindsay. From fine dining to fast food, a White House meal yesterday served was our top local talker. President Trump served Wendy's, McDonald's, and other fast food favorites to Clemson football players following their national championship victory. A spokesperson said Trump paid for the meal himself because of the shutdown, and our Facebook post blew up with comments. Stephanie's comment got a lot of reactions, writing, "Don't forget, President Trump does not collect a salary for his job. He refused it." But Ronnie said next time a Russian politician comes and dines at the White House, he better serve up some McDonald's. But what got the country's attention and was the president's tweet. It sparked a new hashtag, hamburgers. I'm not saying that wrong. Trump wrote on Twitter, "Great being with the national champion Clemson Tigers last night at the White House. Because of the shutdown, I served them massive amounts of fast food. I paid over 1,000 hamburgers, etc. Within 1 hour, it was all gone. Great guys and big eaters." But within less than 2 hours, the post was deleted and reposted with the correct spelling. And switching hats, today marks National Hat Day. The hashtag is trending all over, but many are saying hats off to season 23's Bachelor right here on KITV. That's because he's a virgin who has 20-plus women vying for his love. But one of the contestants, Demi, is trending after she picked up the rose and then shocked everyone by showing up to cocktail hour in a robe. You can catch her next stunt Monday right here on KITV.
And back to that White House fast food.
I think you're more of a fan of that than The Bachelor, am I right?
You know me all too well. Laura, thank you. Very good. We'll check back in now with Island Weather's Tasia Worley. Tasia's got the surf forecast and the current conditions outside. Tasia, the surf is up today.
That's right. That high surf warning remains in place at least until your Wednesday morning. North and west shores of Niihau, Kauai, Oahu, and Molokai, and the north shores of Maui. Advisory levels to stay posted for the west shores of Hawaii Island. Current conditions, we are seeing 8 to 12 from on a point over on Kauai, Velziland here on Oahu 10 to 15, Jaws on Maui 8 to 12. We will see higher sets later on in the afternoon. Expected to see the north 20 to 25, west 15 to 20. That small craft advisory is still in place. And then also for the east and the south shores 1 to 3. Wind not going to be a factor. It's relatively calm. Variable winds under 15 miles per hour. Taking a look at our clouded rain forecast, cloudier conditions on the way. That's by your Wednesday night into your Thursday. We'll get a southerly winds by tomorrow, so humid conditions are on the way, all because of this approaching cold front. It'll move from west to east Thursday to Friday, giving us some increased shower activity by Thursday night. That will just focus more over our Oahu, and then move its way down for your Aloha Friday and clear up by the weekend. So by your Saturday, trade winds return. That's a look at your weather. Here's a look at your traffic. For today, looking good over in the west side. We do have some road closures later tonight. This is near the airport at Paea Street. This begins at 8:30 tonight till 4 o'clock your next morning. And also just an update, Makakilo, that water main break has been repaired, or water has been restored. The roads also repaired and all lanes are now open. For tomorrow, the Pali Highway Honolulu bound will be affected. The right lane will be closed. This is all the way through Wiley Street from 8 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And in Waikele, the left turning lane at Paiva Street, both directions are affected at the H1 freeway overpass from 8:30 to 3. Lindsay, to you.
Tasia, thank you. Still to come on Island News Midday at noon. We'll take another look at the top stories of the day. Coming up tonight on Island News at 5, high bacteria levels have been plaguing Oahu's beaches recently. But is it actually harmful? We'll take a look at the state's plans to better test its waters to determine if people can go into the ocean. And what may be the largest great white in the world in Hawaii? To take a bite out of this, we'll hear from people who caught the 7-meter monster in the act. That's all coming up tonight on Island News at 5. Up next, a look at your top stories. One final look at island weather. Another live look outside over Honolulu right now. Island News Midday at noon will be right back. Stay with us.
It's KITV4 Island News Midday.
Thank you, Island News Midday. Some breaking news to report to you at midday. Another rail audit just into the newsroom from the Hawaii State Office of the Auditor on the Honolulu Authority for Rapid Transportation. And this new report does find that HART, it withheld money that was used for unexpected costs when reporting to the board. Now, this is due to the CEO's belief that disclosing the amount set aside could lead to higher costs for the project. And this audit also found that HART does not evaluate their employees' performances and approve monthly invoices averaging about $800,000. And the board believed their oversight of admin affairs was due to limited hiring, evaluating, and terminating of the CEO, meaning areas of management fall into gray areas. But on the flip side, the FTA says filing management roles with third-party consultants versus HART employees leads to less accountability and ownership. KITV4's Brenton Awa will bring us more on the audit tonight at 5, 6, and 10. And midday, it's now day 25 of the government shutdown. And today, the Coast Guard becomes the first branch of the military to miss their paycheck. And this as major delays do continue at airports with TSA screeners working without pay and protests taking place around the nation. Just take a look at this video right here. In Houston, NASA workers are protesting the shutdown. Reports are about 95% of NASA employees are furloughed. And from Washington to Miami, Houston, Atlanta, the lines at airports getting longer as security checkpoints and terminals in some cities remain closed. The government shutdown now on day 25. According to the government, more than twice the amount of normal numbers of TSA workers are now calling out sick, as President Trump remains defiant for demanding $5.7 billion for a wall along the Mexico border.
When it comes to keeping the American people safe, I will never, ever back down. I didn't need this fight. This is a rough fight.
A new video emerging of a new caravan of migrants making a trek north, some for the U.S., but in Washington, neither side is backing down, affecting some 800,000 federal workers missing their first paycheck today. And also, we're here locally One popular chain is stepping up to help federal employees affected by the government shutdown. L&L Hawaiian Barbecue will offer free meals to not just federal workers, but also their families. And the free meals will be handed out this Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Airport Trade Center location that's at 550 Paea Street near the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport. Federal employees must bring official federal identification and can choose from 3 plate lunches, kalua pork with cabbage, chicken katsu, and hamburger steak as well. New at midday, if you were driving on the H1 in town earlier and wondering what the slowdown was all about, multiple lanes on the H1 eastbound were blocked right in this area under the Ward overpass. Now, this all due to a trailer of a truck detaching and overturning, but it's no ordinary trailer. Just take a look at this. A wood chipper detached from a truck, turning over on its side, blocking multiple lanes. Our KITV4 cameras were rolling as multiple police vehicles were on scene, causing for chaos and a literal mess for morning commuters that were heading into town. Again, this on the H1 eastbound at Ward. All lanes are now back open and the scene is clear. All right, we'll take another look at island weather. Tasha's got a look at your extended forecast right now. Hey, Tasha.
Hey, Lindsay. It is also Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. So he also said darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And his day is on Monday, looking like trade winds will return. Also mostly sunny skies, just like what we're having today. For tonight, variable winds and also winds shifting more southerly. So by tomorrow, humid conditions. We're gearing up for some increased shower activity by your Thursday to your Friday. Continuing to watch our winds go down and our surf go up.
Surf is up, and also big names are up.
That's right.
Areas.
That's right. A big name in home improvement has a new project that's already a hit. So this is my favorite show, the star of HGTV's Fixer Upper, Joanna Gaines. She announced that on Instagram she's releasing her first children's book. Her book, We Are the Gardeners, is already listing as #1 bestseller in its category on Amazon, and that's due to pre-orders online. Just alone, the children's book is slated to be released on March 26th. Gaines shared on social media that the book tells the story of her and her children starting their own family garden, and she describes it as what she says, a story of trying and failing and trying again and never giving up. Chip and Joanna have 5 children.
Yeah, very inspiring there. Very good. We'll leave you with a chocoholic's dream turning into a literal nightmare. Just take a look. A highway on Arizona been described as a river of chocolate flowing near I-40 in Flagstaff. That's because 40,000 pounds of liquid chocolate spilled out after a truck rolled